This is Ayla. It's a major step that she's on the bed. She was so terrified by a falling limb last night, she slept under the bed, and for the first time had a major accident on the floor because she was afraid to go outside. Limbs are dropping everywhere, exploding everywhere. I'm looking out my back window. This is my neighbor's tree hanging down off my roof. The temperature's supposed to go to 40. I hope it'll melt and kind of pop back up. But I'm beginning to lose faith in that. Ayla, yeah. That's Ayla. Ayla was so afraid last night when a limb exploded. I mean, it made a terrible sound. She slept under the bed, and then today had a major accident on the floor for the first time because she was afraid to go outside. This is Ayla, my 8-month-old black lab pup. This is Ayla, my 8-month-old black lab pup. She was terrified last night by that limb that fell. She slept under the bed most of the night, so it's a good thing she's on top of the bed. However, Ayla was so afraid to go to bed. Ayla was so afraid. However, Ayla was so afraid to go outside. She had her first major accident ever on the floor. I may have a dog with PTSD. However, Ayla was so afraid to go outside after that limb fell last night that she had her first major accident ever on the floor. I think I now have a dog with PTSD. It's day 3 in the great ice storm of 2009 here in Rogers, Arkansas. We have a light fog. It's 25 degrees. The grass is as hard as the sidewalk. The streets are still impassable. At least the side streets. It's snowing a little bit too. Only the most serious damage has been cleaned up so far. Limbs are still falling. It's supposed to go to 40 today. I'm really tired of all this. There's the tree that's leaning on my house. Schools are still closed because nobody can get anywhere on these streets, certainly not the school buses. And most businesses are still closed because trying to drive anywhere is still very problematic. That's my garbage bin. Today's garbage day, Thursday, January 29th. I had to break into it with a hammer because it was frozen so solidly shut. I don't know if the garbage trucks are going to be able to get through today, but I thought just in case, I better put my garbage container out on the street. Last night, 2 fire trucks drove slowly through the neighborhood looking for downed wires. They had all their lights on. It was really scary. Last night, 2 fire trucks, a ladder truck and a truck, not an ambulance, drove slowly through the neighborhood looking for downed wires. They had all their lights on. It was really scary. I was afraid there was a fire somewhere. Last night, 2 fire trucks, a ladder truck and a regular truck, but not an ambulance, drove slowly through the neighborhood, slowly down this street and up and down the other streets, looking for downed wires. It was very scary. They had all their lights on. I thought there might be a fire somewhere near me. Here's another shot of that tree on my roof. It looks like last night more limbs came down in the street. Yesterday, the street had been pretty well cleared up here where I live. Yesterday, this part of the street had been cleared, but it looks like during the night limbs fell and they're in the street again. Yesterday, this part of the street was pretty well cleared, but it looks like during the night limbs fell again. We're outside now. Ayla only comes outside if I'm here. This is the limb that fell last night with such a big boom that my black lab was terrified and slept under the bed all night. If you're wondering about the other dogs, they didn't seem to be particularly bothered. They were scared, they ran inside. But other than that, they weren't traumatized. Of course, Ayla's only 8 months old. Really big, but 8 months old. And the others are 10, 12 years old. They've seen it all. Same tree as on my roof is so large. It's on a neighbor's garage. Maybe we need to work together to trim it, but not kill it, not cut it down. I hope nobody cuts it down. There's another neighbor's house. There's that big tree limb that almost hit my car and that massacred her magnolia. People with fireplaces are just chopping up the fallen wood to use in their homes. The sunflower seeds I used to feed the birds are frozen in, but it looks like they're pecking it out. The temperature is supposed to go up to 40, so I guess all these icicles, deadly icicles, are going to be dropping. I better come out here without the dogs and knock them all down. On a more serious note, the local news reported that a police chief in central Arkansas was killed when a limb fell on him. He was outside assessing damage, and he died. It's 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, January 29th, and power just went off in Rogers, Arkansas. 10 a.m., January 29th. Rogers, Arkansas, 10 a.m. Central Time, January 29th on Thursday. Power just went off.